So what are Israel's response options? Israel has to respond. It said it will do so at a time and place of its choosing. But what precisely could be the possible scenarios? What could Israel really attack in Iran? Let's take you through what those scenarios are. And these are taking into view reality, possibility, and also what could be credible targets for Israel. Scenario number one, airstrikes could take place on high-value targets like Iran's Tarallah headquarters. That's the command center that takes care of the security of Iran's capital of Tehran. Scenario number two, possibility number two, there could be airstrikes on Iran's many underground missile facilities from where some of these missile attacks may have actually taken place. These include Khorramabad, Kenesht or Panchpele. There are many others as well. I'm just taking a few names. Scenario number three, targets number three, missile strikes on Iranian air bases like the ones targeted in Israel. Iranian air bases could also be targeted like places like Isfahan, Kermanshah or Masjid Soleiman. You know, these are air bases that house Iran's frontline fighter aircraft of American and Russian origin. Scenario number four, Israeli airstrikes, very importantly, on Iran's many nuclear facilities. Remember, Iran is a nuclear-armed country. It has nuclear facilities as well in places like Arak, Ardakan, Bonab, and Lavizan. There are many others. These could all be struck in airstrikes should there be some kind of an escalation. Scenario number five, a targeted covert assassination of Iranian politicians could happen in Iran or in other countries during diplomatic visits. Mossad assassinations have been known to happen. This could be one way of conveying a message to Iran. And finally, scenario number six, Mossad covert killings of Iranian officials, diplomats, or intelligence officers in other countries. Finally, escalated targeting of Iranian assets in places like Yemen, in Gaza, in Lebanon, or even in Syria could be at least a near-term, low-risk response from Israel at this point of time. Here's a detailed report taking you through this 360-degree view of response possibilities.
Ballistic missiles tearing through the night sky. West Asia is in turmoil as nearly 200 missiles were fired by Iran into Israel. Iran's ballistic missile attack on Israel has caused significant damage, claims the Iran Revolutionary Guards. Operation True Promise 2 targeted three key Israeli air bases, namely Nevatim, Hatzerim and Tel Nof. The Iranian Revolutionary Guard stated that F-35 and F-15 fighter jets used in the assassination of Hassan Nasrallah were targeted. Iran also claimed that the Mossad headquarters was targeted in the precision strikes. The big question now is, how will Israel respond to attacks by Iran? Scenario 1. Israel may strike high-value targets like Iran's Tarallah headquarters and the Iranian Revolutionary Guard command. Scenario 2. Israel could carry out airstrikes on Iran's underground missile bases. Scenario 3. Israel may carry out missile strikes on Iranian air bases. Scenario 4. Airstrikes on Iran's nuclear facilities. Scenario 5. Targeted covert assassination of Iranian politicians. Scenario 6. Mossad covert killings of Iranian diplomats or intel officers abroad. And lastly, Scenario 7. Israel could target Iranian assets in Lebanon, Yemen and Syria. As tensions in the Middle East escalate, global concerns grow with World War III warnings from Republican presidential candidate Donald Trump. The US has deployed additional troops and more fighter jets to the Middle East as an attempt to mitigate the conflict between Israel and Iran's proxies from becoming a regional war. Bureau Report, India Today.